Welcome to this explainer on cryptocurrency and the quantum threat. We're diving straight into why the very foundation of digital assets makes them literally the most dangerously exposed asset class to the impending quantum computing revolution. If you hold crypto, or honestly if you're just tracking the digital economy at all, this is a massive structural vulnerability that we absolutely cannot afford to ignore.
So let's kick things off with a single, frankly terrifying number that completely changes the future of crypto. 9 minutes. That is the exact amount of time it could soon take for the underlying math, protecting billions of dollars, to just totally unravel.
Right, so that 9-minute figure, it comes directly from a March 2026 paper co-authored by Google Quantum AI. They basically demonstrated that a quantum computer could shatter specific types of encryption in about 9 minutes. Now think about that in the context of Bitcoin for a second. A standard Bitcoin block confirmation takes 10 minutes. So what we're looking at here is a literal, high-stakes foot race between a quantum attacker and the blockchain itself.
To really grasp how this happens, we have to look at the target, which is ECDSA, or the Elliptic Curve Digital Signature Algorithm. Basically, think of this as the unforgeable digital wax seal that secures Bitcoin, Ethereum, and honestly almost all major blockchain wallets. Using a quantum technique, an attacker could derive your private key just by looking at your exposed public key. And, well, you know how it goes. Once they have your private key, they completely own your funds.
And this is where it gets crazy, because it creates a catastrophic race condition. In that exact same paper, Google estimated a 41% probability that a quantum attacker could steal your funds before your legitimate transaction is even confirmed on-chain. You initiate a transfer, the attacker sees your public key broadcast to the network, derives your private key in 9 minutes flat, and then just redirects the funds to themselves before the network's 10-minute clock even runs out.
Section 1. $500 billion at risk. Let's talk about the sheer scale of this exposure.
We are definitely not talking about hypothetical pennies here. According to data from Citi GPS, roughly 25% of all Bitcoin is held in addresses that have already revealed their public keys. Because of, widespread address reuse practices over the years, those public keys are just sitting out in the open. That makes a full quarter of the entire Bitcoin supply completely quantum attackable the absolute second a sufficiently powerful machine comes online.
So, translating that 25% into market value at early 2026 prices, we are looking at over $500 billion at immediate risk. That's over $500 billion sitting in wallets where the cryptographic lock is essentially already half-picked by the laws of quantum physics. Just let that sink in.
Section 2. The smart contract vulnerability and the threat to Web3 infrastructure.
This danger goes way, way beyond simple wallet balances. We're talking about decentralized finance, or DeFi, liquidity pools, NFT ownership records, smart contract logic execution. Literally all of these rely on those exact same elliptic curve signatures for authorization. A quantum attacker wouldn't just be stealing from individual wallets. They could forge ownership transfers, execute unauthorized contract calls, and unilaterally drain massive liquidity pools in a matter of minutes.
Which really highlights the tragic irony of cryptocurrency, doesn't it? The completely decentralized, trustless nature that makes it so revolutionary also means there's absolutely no undo button. There's zero fraud reversal, no central authority to step in and save the day. When the underlying math fails, the loss is absolute and it is permanent.
Section 3. The blockchain migration nightmare. Let's look at what upgrading a blockchain actually entails. So if we know the math is failing, why don't we just, fix it? Well, the urgency is incredibly real. A May 2026 assessment by Project 11 concluded that a cryptographically relevant quantum computer could actually arrive as early as 2030. Their report made it unequivocally clear, quote, "Migration to quantum-resistant cryptography is no longer optional but imperative for any blockchain system expected to be trusted and secure into the future."
But the real bottleneck is how you actually execute that migration. The major limitation here is that blockchain upgrades require strict consensus. Unlike a traditional IT department just pushing an overnight update to company laptops, blockchains require a mandatory hard fork. That means simultaneous, perfectly timed coordination across thousands of independent miners, validators, exchanges, wallet providers, and just everyday users. It is an absolute logistical nightmare.
Section 4. Bitcoin versus Ethereum and the ultimate test of decentralized governments.
As we barrel towards what researchers are calling Q-Day, we are seeing a massive, fascinating divide in preparedness between the two biggest networks.
When you really compare the two, Ethereum clearly has a distinct advantage in coordination. The Ethereum Foundation has actually published a planned post-quantum roadmap utilizing next-gen cryptographic tools like XMSS multi-signatures and the Poseidon 2 hash function. Bitcoin, on the other hand, it operates with no central authority and a deeply, deeply conservative upgrade culture. Because of that, there is currently absolutely no quantum roadmap for Bitcoin, and really no consensus on how to even approach one. Which, going back to what we said earlier, leaves that 25% of exposed coins highly, highly vulnerable.
Now, it is also worth noting how the underlying network mechanics fare here. Hash functions like SHA-256, which actually protect Bitcoin's proof-of-work mining, survive Q-Day. They aren't instantly broken like the wallet signatures. But of course, there's a catch. Quantum computers using a mathematical shortcut called Grover's algorithm, which is essentially like a computational skeleton key, could eventually gain a massive speed advantage. So over the long term, this threatens to centralize all mining power strictly into the hands of a few quantum-equipped actors.
Section 5. The Fiduciary Trap. Let's talk about the institutional reality of all this.
Because this isn't just a fun thought experiment for computer scientists, it's a massive, immediate issue for institutional investors right now. We're talking about pension funds, ETFs, and corporate treasuries that are currently holding massive amounts of crypto assets. And regulators, well, they're waking up. They are increasingly demanding concrete quantum risk disclosures for these digital asset holdings. Think about it. If an institution is completely unprepared for the absolute irreversibility of a quantum hack, they aren't just losing money. They are actively breaching their fiduciary duty to their clients.
Which leaves us with this final, honestly chilling question for anyone holding or managing digital assets. When there is zero fraud reversal in crypto, who exactly is responsible when the math fails? When a 9-minute quantum attack irreversibly drains an entire portfolio, who takes the fall? It's a question the financial world needs to answer, and fast, because the clock is absolutely ticking. Thanks for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning and stay prepared.